guys, thanks for tuning in. As the name implies, I want to talk about designated vehicle guns. Basically, that's a truck gun, okay? I like the term. I think it suits better what we're talking about here when it comes to having a gun in your vehicle. So I'm going to use that term. Now, I get a lot of questions about this stuff. There's a lot of good information out there. I urge you guys to go check out Gun Website's channel. He just did an hour-long podcast on this not too long ago. It's really cool. Definitely worth checking out. Like I said, I get questions on this, so I wanted to put together some information for those people out there who might be looking to buy something or to get something out of their own collection and use it as a designated vehicle gun. Just a few things you want to take into consideration. Now, first you have to understand what is the purpose of having a designated vehicle gun above and beyond like an everyday carry if you do carry every day. And basically it's to prepare for the unknown. It's the same concept behind having a get-home bag in your vehicle. You're away from your home, away from your resources. You want the tools you need to get yourself out of a jam, and that's essentially what we're talking about here. So, that being said, keeping that stuff in mind, there are three things that I think you need to pay attention to when you're making that decision on which particular type of firearm to go with. One is going to be caliber. For me, I think pretty much anything that's suitable for self-defense is suitable for defense in this situation. 9mm and up on pistols, your standard shotgun loads, 223, 7.62 and up as far as rifle rounds. Those are all suitable self-defense rounds. Now, my recommendation personally is go with the bigger, more capacity firearm, okay? Bigger bullet, more capacity. Remember, this is something you're not having to carry on your person. It can be a little bit bigger of a firearm, okay? Put it in somewhere, stow it away. Even small cars usually have room to stow away a little bit larger gun properly. Now, some people just, they don't want to do that. Maybe they want something that's a little more compatible with their EDC. Let's say you've got a Glock 26 that you carry every day like I do. You want something a little more compatible, so you go with something like a Glock 17 for your vehicle gun. That makes sense. You can share ammo and mags. Or maybe you want to go with something even better like a kel-tec sub 2000 where you've got a carbine length pistol caliber rifle essentially. That's going to still be compatible with whatever your EDC is. And there are some options out there like that. Now, speaking of, kel-tec and pistol caliber carbines, that kind of leads me into my next point, which is basically, do you go with a long gun or do you go with a handgun? Personally, I recommend a long gun of some sort, whether it's a rifle or shotgun or carbine. I recommend a long gun because, again, this is not something you have to conceal on you, and you're trying to prepare for the unknown. You don't know what situation you might find yourself in. It's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared, so I recommend a long gun. Again, even if it's just a carbine length, pistol caliber carbine, something like this. This is just in .357 Magnum. I say just. It's in .357 Magnum, but you got 8 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. That's 9 rounds of .357 Magnum in a nice long barrel that's going to give you a lot of velocity and a lot of power behind that round. A lot more power behind that round than you would get in a revolver like this that shoots the exact same caliber, but it's got a shorter barrel, plus it only holds 6 rounds. So I think even in something like a pistol caliber carbine, there's a lot of advantages to going with a long gun over a handgun. I understand some people just are more comfortable with handguns and they just prefer something they can throw in a glove box, but all in all, I recommend a long gun. Now that leads me into number 3, basically cost. Okay, I recommend not using any firearm that's going to break you if you have to replace it, because let's be honest, you're leaving a firearm in a vehicle, not in a home, in a safe. Even if you have it stowed away properly and in some sort of car safe, it is still easier to steal the whole safe than it would be to steal that gun out of your home in a big, heavy, locked-up safe that is really difficult to move. So you still run that risk of having that happen. There is a chance you have to take into consideration. So my recommendation for me personally is a $300 cap. There are a lot of good firearms, especially on the used markets, you can find that will serve as a good vehicle gun for $300 or less. A lot of good options out there. I know for some people maybe that's not good enough. If you can afford to put an AR-15 in your vehicle and have it stolen and then immediately replace it, good for you. But most people can't, and that's why I recommend a $300 cap. Now that leads me into what I use, which is this right here. This is a Maverick 88 by Mossberg. This is a 12 gauge. This was a field barrel. I chopped it down. You can pick these up for $169.99 brand new plus tax, so under $200, well under that $300 cap that I put on myself. And I've got 6 rounds of buckshot here, 5 rounds of buckshot here. That's 11 rounds of 12 gauge buckshot. Now that's a whole lot more power and a whole lot more versatility than what I have in this pistol right here for my everyday carry. This prepares me for a whole lot more situations, and this is definitely the type of firearm I would recommend if somebody were to ask me, hey, what would you go with? So that's pretty much it, guys. You know, go with a good, solid caliber, good capacity. Go with a long gun if you have the option, and go with something that's not going to break the bank if it does get stolen. Again, something like this, pretty much perfect. So that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching. Questions, comments, or if you have your own recommendations, leave them down below, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks.